I came from a commercial mindset, so I was looking for our competitors. But now I see that in the circular economy, of course you have competitors, but they can also be a really good partner because you cannot do everything yourself. So you need each other to be successful and you both grow.
Welcome to Going Circular Pays Off, the podcast. My name is Sandra Horlings and I'm from InnoBoost, supporting businesses around the globe going circular. In this series, we explore real stories from business leaders, making their businesses cleaner, greener, more just and more future-proof. What does that mean? It's about reducing harm and actively restoring and improving the world around us. And the best part? It works. We see in many sectors that a strong business case drives real change. In every episode, we uncover lessons from those already on this journey, so you can learn from their successes and sidestep the pitfalls. Today, we will discuss circular business models in e-commerce, and more specifically, for equipment and supplies for the business-to-business market. Delivered by Manutan, a key European player, and Mark Lina is here to share their learnings. But first, let me introduce my co-host and colleague for today, Jayden Panetta. Jayden recently completed a master in circular business. Jayden, from your studies, what stands out as a key lever for businesses to embrace circularity?
Thank you for the introduction, Sandra. For me, the biggest lever is mindset. Circularity isn't just a technical challenge, it's a human one too. So when we shift how we think and work, everything external follows. Once a company shifts, what do we want to buy or sell next? To how can we get more value from what's already here? These circular choices suddenly become the smartest ones.
Thank you, Jayden. Let's see if Manutan also subscribes to this statement. Let's introduce our guest of today, Mark Lina. Mark, very welcome. You are a business developer for the circular economy at Manutan. Can you please explain what you do in this role and how did you get into this role?
Thank you for this introduction for the podcast. What I basically do is exploring the transitions from a linear business model to a circular business model together with my team.
Is your work mainly local or does it span the wider organization?
The last year it was quite local, but now we see that the development is going pretty well. And we have a lot of European customers, of course, since we are located in 17 countries. We are now expanding to other countries as well. So my next responsibility will be also developing this in other countries throughout Europe.
If you say Manutan is a big company,
Yeah.
How large is it? Where do people know it from?
Throughout Europe, Manutan is now with 25 companies in 17 countries. And we almost all have the same name, so it's quite recognizable. In the Netherlands, if you look locally, people will know us maybe from Overtoom. That's what we were before. But then after the takeover from the Manutan group, we expanded more as a European partner for companies. We deliver a solution for every workplace for companies. If it comes to offices, to warehouse or internal logistics, I think we have it all.
Yeah, so that's equipment, that's supplies.
Yeah.
For warehousing, for offices.
Everything to make the primer process at the company to facilitate that.
And being in this role, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel really good. It's really an entrepreneur job within a big company because we're doing things different and it's new. So I don't have any references about how we did it before. So it's really exploring and it's really learning. The company is willing to invest in this research that we do. So when I started, I was the 9th member of our team. And now we're already at 24 people in our circular team, and it's still growing. For me, to be honest, I thought more about sustainability when I became a father 3 years ago, because it's the future for my daughter. And that gives me extra motivation to do this as my job, so I can contribute while I'm working. So that also saves me a lot of time in my free time to be with the family. So for me, this is the perfect balance for this moment.
If you think about going circular pays off, can you go back to a moment in where you think, yes, eureka?
When they asked me to apply for this job, internal, my manager is really innovative and enthusiastic in the circular business models. So when I spoke to him and I heard about his ambition and I heard about his way of thinking, it really inspired me to see, first of all, what is it? because I didn't have any experience at all. But then afterwards, when we are starting this project and I got the reactions from our customers, I really thought this is really a unique position that we have. And I think we should really explore and increase this to see what the business models possibilities could be.
If you say clients are responding to it in a positive way, could you elaborate a bit on what they are responding to?
It can be two ways. You have some companies that are really breeding sustainability. So they really find it interesting that they can reuse their own materials for other end products. And on the other side, we make it also profitable because we also see that a lot of companies are willing to change, but due to the current situation economic-wise, it saves also a lot of money with budgets if you go for second-hand or refurbished materials.
So maybe to this aha moment, when was this and what did you offer to your customers?
What we offer is a total solution with projects furniture-wise. So when you look at, for example, a facility manager has to redecorate an office building, there are more topics that he needs to do. Finding the furniture first, and find a solution for the existing furniture, and that they also have to do it besides their daily jobs. Now with this circular service, we can offer the customer a full package. We can offer a solution for the existing furniture. We can first see if we can use this furniture with the new furniture, so that we use the materials they already have. The second thing is that we have the experience in decorating office buildings. So we already did that for a long time. So we bring that experience with us.
So basically, by origin, you are really good at very efficient logistics processes.
Yeah.
And if you look into the future, what will be your new capability that you will be building going circular?
Offer a more sustainable offer to companies. And with that, we help companies to make their purchasing more sustainable and also make it measurable, because we work with impact reports. So with all the data we have and the methodologies of calculating impact, we can also provide our customers with some really actual data about how valuable their impact has been with a certain project.
I guess trailing back on that, how do you see the customers looking at that value of the data? Is that something that they're asking for? Is it something that you recognize?
What we see in our sector is that we really see the demand on reporting. So companies who are really working on their impact to reduce it, they want to measure it. So the most important thing for us to make the difference is to keep everything measured for our customers with validated reports, and make sure that they see what they are doing, so they get motivated to expand that.
Do you see also that there's new criteria? This is a new criterion that came up, but in the EU, you can say the sentiment on CSRD, on Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, that's going down instead of going up. Do you see that the sentiment at your customers is also changing therefore, or is there still an ask for impact reports, traceability, data?
When we look at the events we have and the conversation that my colleagues as account managers have with their customers, the demand is still there. To be honest, the last few months, the leads that came to me for presentations about our service is growing every week. So the interest is still there. And as we look at possibilities for our customers, we still see that they really are looking for more sustainable solutions than before. And in my opinion, it's still growing. In the sector that we work, we don't see that there's a little bit slowing down.
So going back to that moment 2 years ago when you were asked to take on this role, was there a trigger in the company to go circular?
Yeah, Manutan is really, our slogan is enterprising for a better world. And we have our ethical principles, our people, planet and profit. And we work according to those 3 Ps. And of course the planet is involved in that as well.
Mark, did you immediately know where to find the circular value?
For me it was easy since I started when the service was already for 2 years in France. So we already had some guidance of which way we wanted to go. But of course the Netherlands is a different market, and you see that we are quite developed in circularity. So for me, it's a continuous journey. Just listen to the market, listen to the needs of the customers, and then we can switch directions or add another direction and just grow. Yeah, share knowledge, listen to each other. What are the needs? What are the possibilities? When I started this, I did a market research on what my competitors would be. It's funny to see that now my competitors are my main partners. So we work really together to provide the solutions. You have a lot of circular specialists who really manufacture themselves. And we are really strong with the logistics. And we have a big network of large companies who want to do business with us. So using their specialism and our logistic knowledge and combine that, we really see that we are really making big steps for big companies. And we also make it possible to go across borders. We can also help the customers throughout Europe with our Dutch specialties, I must say. Yeah.
It's interesting because with this mindset of this learning mindset, this growth mindset, you can say, okay, we experiment, we learn, but I take it wasn't all easy peasy going this way. Could you maybe explain some of the hurdles that you came across?
Of course. What the biggest hurdle is the mindset of the customers. You can provide a lot of solutions, but somehow at some companies, I think maybe it's the person that you speak with, refurbished or circular products, for them sound like it's old garbage, or it's not the quality that we want, or it doesn't apply to all the specifics that we need to be a healthy workplace. We have our own hubs, circular hubs. We have 2 of them, one in Paris, and we work with Kruisiga, which is one of our daughter companies in Wapenveld. So we do all the refurbishment, we do it ourselves, so we can have the control of the quality. So we can also say, okay, this is the quality that Manutan wants to offer to the customers. So in that case, you have the solution, but it's still the mindset of the customer. Is he willing to go circular or refurbished instead of buying what he's used to, the new ones?
So before we assume that everyone knows where Wapenveld is, or where Paris is, Wapenveld is a small town in the Netherlands.
Yes, it's close to Zwolle.
It's close to Zwolle, so it's in the eastern part of the Netherlands. Exactly. But that also shows that you could say the main activity is in France and in the Netherlands as a circular hub. What actually happens at those hubs?
Yeah, when we started the circular hub in France, it was mainly storage from articles that we collected in the market, and we tried to resell it via our website. What we now see is that we use the hub more as an operational refurbishment site. So we do some refurbishment ourselves, and we are improving this along the way. It's also still a learning phase. And we use the central warehouse from our headquarters, also in Paris, which is a 20-minute drive from each other, for the logistical part. So we mainly focus us now on the refurbishment. And then within the company, we can transfer it to the big warehouse where they do all the logistics and from where it can be shipped to the customers.
So it started from reselling used canteen tables.
Yeah.
To now taking apart those canteen tables, refurbishing them, upgrading them, giving them new colors.
Exactly.
And then still selling them.
Yeah. As also now our people in the hub are being trained to do also some metal work, because we also wanted to be more into the industrial locker segment. So we also do now a lot of painting, a lot of refurbishing, putting the bumps out of the doors to make it more straight again. And they get trained in that.
Yeah, because you need other craftsmen.
Exactly.
And if you look at that business case for going circular, how do customers pay for this? Because they are used to pay a really good price for high efficiency. Mm-hmm. What are they now paying for?
They are paying now for, in my opinion, articles that contribute to the future of the planet, because it's not new materials. And they still have the same service. They still have the same quality. We guarantee 3 years of guarantee on the products, because we really believe that the quality is good. And I think the main benefit is that they get a report as well. When they buy a refurbished chair, not only the chair comes, but also a report on the chair with the impact ecological wise. So it also makes it measurable again. But they can also show the company, look what we did by buying this chair, to also motivate the colleagues internally.
Could I ask, was that the product environmental footprint? Is that the impact that is on each of the products there? So then customers can see a rating on how much impact this has had for the environment.
Exactly, yeah. And how many materials they have saved by choosing refurbished or a second-hand chair.
Oh, wow.
Instead of a new produced one. And that's mainly step 3 in what we did to make purchasing more sustainable. We started with giving products a label, like new products, like a sustainable label. The second step was we made our own score for products. It calls the PI score, which means Product Environmental Impact Score. And we do this check around 16 impact categories. And then we can say, with the calculation, we give the article a score, like a Nutri-score from A till D. D is really bad, A is really good. And we showed it on our website, and we have that now for more than 35,000 products. So on this way, we can guide our customers to make a more sustainable choice in choosing their equipment.
And how is all this paying off for you as Manutan, business-wise?
Really good. To be honest, it opens a lot of new doors. Because you offer another solution, other companies are also interested in you because you have something unique. And a lot of requests I got the last months were companies who didn't do business with Manutan before. So it also creates a lot of new business. With opening that door, of course, you can follow it up. And then you can also show what you do more than only sustainability to become really the preferred supplier for a company. And then the entrance is a sustainability service that we have now.
I want to ask you as well, with the circularity hubs, I've heard about the operations there and with people working, that there's a reintegration program. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Because we don't have regular flow of work that has to be done with refurbishment, we use an external company in Paris, and they work with people that have a distance from the labor market. They help us with the refurbishment. So they change the arm pads, or they help refurbish the fabrics on the chairs. Yeah, so it's quite good to see how these things are evolving.
Yeah,
well.
definitely.
It's also one of the 3 Ps, the people. We have
Yes.
the people, planet, profit. So also the people is really important. Not only the people who work for Manutan, but also all the people that we need to do this service. So we really think about also how we can make that more sustainable.
So Mark, you gave a lot of examples in equipment, so we can really visualize what does that mean when you refurb a table or an office chair. But if you look at another categories like IT, electronics, or other supplies that you need for your enterprise, what would be the next category in where you see the biggest uplift of going circular?
To be honest, we don't really have a strategy on what is next. We learn along the way. So we keep on listening to what customers look for and what they need. And we try to adapt our service on the need that there is on the market. So we don't have like a setup guideline that this is going to be next. I think we just act on the moment. If you look for a big project we did recently, there was a company that wanted to have a solution for office chairs. They had like 490 office chairs that needed to be upgraded. And the first intention was to buy new ones. And then we got in a conversation with them. And at the end, chose to refurbish all their chairs. So from that point, we created a new service called Refurbishment as a service, which we didn't thought of really before. It just happened along the way. For me, it's difficult to say this article group or this specialism is going to be next. I think we will see if we have a new demand with something that we don't offer yet to make sure that we can also have an answer to that question.
But it's interesting because we were talking about hurdles.
Mm-hmm.
Are you afraid of those hurdles, or are you say we will just tackle them along?
In our team, for now, we have a mindset. We just go and we see how it goes. Our department is really blessed to have a company that is willing to invest in this future model, because we really see that for the long term, this is really what we need to have. So yeah, we are really learning along the way. So if there's a hurdle, then it's like, okay, how are we going to jump over it and continue? And then we'll see next. And if the answer is that the hurdle is too big and we cannot continue on this way, then it's a learning phase that we had. And then we can think about how we can do it better next time, of course. But sometimes no is also an answer. I think the main hurdles are still, when I come back, like in the introduction, it's the mindset. So how people think also internally. When we started this, our sales department said, oh, but it's 30% less expensive, so my turnover will also drop. I understand that feeling because I worked for sales as well. But they now see that with the refurbished solutions, which are cheaper, they can win projects that we couldn't win before because we were too expensive. So it's not a drop of turnover, it's more additional turnover that we get from this service. So they finally see it now, but it took some time.
So you go from expanding your market because
Yep.
new clients come to you, and you now also say it's also expanding the revenue from our current client base
Yep.
because they come with new projects and other requests.
Exactly.
Still a bit on those hurdles, on the learnings that you do. Who or what is helping you to overcome those hurdles? Are you also looking outside of Manutan?
Yes, of course. Yeah, we have a lot of partnerships. Like I said before, when we started it, I came from a commercial mindset, so I was looking for our competitors. But now I see that in the circular economy, of course, you have competitors, but they can also be a really good partner because we really want to do this together. We really want to make the impact, and you cannot do everything yourself. So you need each other to be successful, and you both grow if you can do the project together, because you cannot do it on your own. So or you both don't have the project, or you work together and then you both have profit from a certain project. So yes, we also look external outside of Manutan. I think it's necessary.
I think it's definitely necessary, as you said, and it's a good point to make when you look at the outside market as your competitors. There's a beautiful opportunity where you can connect and say, okay, let's connect the dots. We're all aiming for this one goal, this one outcome. So be able to combine those minds together is a beautiful way to grow in that network.
In a linear way of thinking, it's easy to do it on your own because when you need something, you just buy it. But when you work in a circular movement, then you have to work with the things that are there. So it's an ending source, sort of. So you cannot say, I want to have 100 of the same chairs per se. If you have 50, you need someone who also has 50 with the same chairs to combine it and do it together.
It's interesting because you also have like a director for circular economy and customer decarbonization.
Yep.
Do these two go hand in hand?
Yes, before it was two departments. Now we combine them since this fiscal year. So our fiscal year is French. So we started in October with our fiscal year. Because the customer decarbonization team, we have a category manager who is really looking into the categories of products. And we have our data manager who really helps us to make the impact also measurable again. Now we work as one team to really decarbonize the purchasing of our customers. So that really goes hand in hand.
Is there a business case for going circular that you could share with us?
We had a customer as well. It was a key account for us, a big customer. And they had a certain budget to replace all their desks. Because of the Arbo, they needed to change to sit-stand desks. And they had a certain budget to do so. And we just got in conversation with the customer. And then we were looking at what do you already have? What can we reuse? So, for example, they had really nice tops of the desks. So we could reuse them. So we only had to replace the bases of the desks to make them sit-stand version. By reducing the cost of the new equipment, they had more budget left. So they could also replace the chairs right away with circular chairs. So the customer was really happy because they thought it would be difficult to only replace the desks. But with going circular, they were also able to replace the desks and also the chairs. So they were really happy that it could be in one budget because they actually wanted to do that next year. But because of the circular solution, they could do it in one way because they saved a lot of money by reusing their own materials.
Yeah, and not only that, you're also adding value to the product.
Exactly. Yeah, and it was really nice for them to have the feeling that, look what we do, we are reusing our own materials and we are even making our workplace more people-friendly.
Would you say those launching customers or those first adopters of the concept, are they now your ambassadors?
Yeah, they come back. And when you look at the really major big companies, they also help me with contacts within the company. So when we share something on LinkedIn, we are really active on the socials. We always try to tag the customers to create the awareness. Normally, we were never allowed to do so, but now it's a good news. So it's about sustainability. And now you see that our customers are open to be tagged in social network messages. And that helps us also to create more awareness. And on that way, when they share it with their network, it goes mouth to mouth, or I don't know, LinkedIn to LinkedIn.
Yeah,
I don't know how you say it, but
well, that sounds like
it goes digital mouth to mouth.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you optimistic that other companies will be adopting this line of going circular?
Yeah, I think so. After the kickstart and they see the benefits that comes to a customer forward as well, I think it will definitely grow. But still, it's something that is still new for a lot of companies, and they are still a little bit afraid to change from linear to circular because of the way of thinking. Of course, it demands a lot of different approaches, but I hope that we can show them the way. And with our investments, we make the first step quite small for our customers to go circular. And we hope that motivates them to take the next steps as well.
Mark, would you say that going circular is directly connected to future readiness?
I think so, yes. Yeah, definitely. How I see it is that the customer really demands more reports on your sustainability as a company. And I think being innovative now in this topic will help you to have the base for the future. Because in my opinion, if things are getting like materials when they're just gone, because there's no more materials anymore, you have to reuse it. And I think that mindset will definitely change with the new generation stepping in. You see the younger people at our company, they are really more interested into sustainability than the older people. And I think that also helps the change, because they are more like, this is my future. I am still on this planet in 50 years, so I want my planet to be nice and beautiful. So I think that helps as well.
So you say that growing awareness is also an enabler for going circular. Growing awareness on why it is essential to reuse materials instead of mine critical raw materials until it's finished and they are no longer available. What would be your call for action if you could step on stage and talk to all the companies in the world? What would be your call for action?
Take the first step. Just go for it. Look in your own company what is easy to change. Start there and also start measuring there. So you have like a starting point. Keep all the people in your company informed and involved in this process to keep them also motivated. Take it step by step. And there are a lot of companies who are willing to help you with that. And I think just listen to them and make it easy for yourself to see the first results, share those results, and from there expand your journey. Because it is a journey.
Yeah, definitely. I do agree. It is a journey. It is something where if people could understand that it's not just about the destination or the outcome or the goal, but it is about the journey and how you can bring people together with your ambition.
Yeah.
That might be challenging, but because business is still about KPIs and not about going on a journey.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But still, I think when you involve these changes into your KPIs, you can still develop on that point.
So Mark, has it all been worth it?
For now it is, because we see that we see the results, we see the new opportunities that comes with it. So it's worth it, and we also think it's already ready enough to expand it to more countries.
So you say it works and it's worthwhile. Yeah. What would you have done differently in hindsight?
I don't know, to be honest. For me personally, it was already a really nice journey the last year, exploring everything, seeing everything. Maybe the only thing that I can think of is maybe we should have started a few years before to be even more specialized. But I think it's never too late to start. And I think when you look at our own competitors in our branch, we are still one step in front. So we have to keep on pushing to be that on this position. Like I said, we are just really lucky to have a company that is willing to invest into this growth and into this transition.
If you now look back at the profit you made, how would you describe the profit that you're most proud of?
I think the profit that we are most proud of is the profit that will come out of this process. So on long term, what we see now is that we can help companies change the way they think. I think when you ask me the same question in 1 year, when we expand this throughout Europe and we have more companies that are going with our flow, I think that is the biggest thing that I'm proud of. That helping other companies taking the first step and grow into the circular economy.
Well, that's a nice call for action. Maybe you can also, in the show notes, we can mention your email and they can reach out to you.
Yeah, sure. You can also always find me on LinkedIn. If you want to contact me, it's mark.lina@manutan.nl.
Wow. That's really open and a call for action for every company to align, to learn from Manutan and to take the first step going forward.
We're really open to share our experiences from this journey.
It might be a difficult journey, but listening to you and how you approached it really makes us feel that it's easy and doable.
It is. With the correct mindset it is.
So this was awesome, Mark, this conversation. Many thanks for joining the show. My name is Sandra Horlings and this has been Going Circular Pays Off, the podcast uncovering the business case for going circular. Brought to you by InnoBoost. Today with Mark Lina from Manutan and with Jaden Panetta from InnoBoost. We hope this episode inspired you to make going circular work and worthwhile. If so, don't forget to visit us at innoboost.com for more stories, insights and resources. Share this podcast with your network and help spread the message. Embracing circularity restores and improves the world around us and creates lasting business impact, creating profit to be proud of.